breath I'd been holding since the afternoon when those four figures had appeared suddenly in the clearing below, and we had flown down the hill to meet them. There had been one moment of joyous, wordless explosion as we all flung ourselves at one another, and then the explosion had widened as Amy Higgins came out of her cabin, summoned by the noise, to be followed by Bobby, then Aidan, who had whooped at sight of Jem and tackled him, knocking him flat, with Orry and little Rob. Joe Beardsley had been in the woods nearby, heard the racket, and come to see, and within what seemed like moments the clearing was alive with people. 6 households were within reach of the news before sundown. The rest would undoubtedly hear of it tomorrow. The instant outpouring of Highland hospitality had been wonderful. Women and girls had run back to their cabins and fetched whatever they had baking or boiling for supper. The men had gathered wood, and, at Jamie's behest, piled it on the crest where the outline of the new house stood, and we had welcomed home our family in style, surrounded by friends. Hundreds of questions had been asked of the travellers. Where had they come from? How was the journey? What had they seen? No one had asked if they were happy to be back. That was taken for granted by everyone. Neither Jamie nor I had asked any questions. Time enough for that. And now that we were alone, Roger had just answered the only one that truly mattered. The why of that answer, though. I felt the stirring of the hair on my nape. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, I murmured into Mandy's black curls, and kissed her tiny, sleep-deaf ear. Once more my fingers probed inside her clothes, filthy from travel, but very well made, and found the hairline scar between her ribs, the whisper of the surgeon's knife that had saved her life 2 years ago, in a place so far from me. It thumped peacefully along, that brave little heart under my fingertips, and I blinked back tears. Not for the first time today, and surely not for the last. I was right, Jamie said, and I realized he'd said it for the second time. Right about what? About needing more room, he said patiently, and turned to gesture at the invisible rectangle of the stone foundation, the only tangible trace so far of the new house. The footprint of the original big house was still visible as a dark mark beneath the grass of the clearing below, but it had nearly faded away. Perhaps by the time the new house was finished, it would be only a memory. Brianna yawned like a lion, then pushed back her tangled mane and blinked sleepily into the dark. We'll probably be sleeping in the root cellar this winter, she said, then laughed. Oh, ye of little faith, Jamie said, not at all perturbed. The timber's sawn, split and milled. We'll have walls and floors and windows aplenty before snowfall. Maybe no glass in them yet, he added fairly, but that can wait till the spring. Brianna blinked again and shook her head, then stood up to look. Have you got a hearthstone? I have. A lovely wee piece of serpentine. The greenstone, Ken. I remember. And you have a piece of iron to put under it. Jamie looked surprised. Not yet, no. I'll find that when we bless the hearth, though. Well, then. She sat up straight and fumbled among the folds of her cloak, emerging with a large canvas bag clearly heavy and full of assorted objects. She delved about in this for a few moments, then pulled out something that gleamed black in the firelight. Use that, da, she said, handing it across to Jamie. He looked at it for a moment, smiled, and handed it to me. Aye, that'll do, he said. You brought it for the hearth? It was a smooth black metal chisel, 6 inches long and heavy in my hand, with the word craftsman imprinted in the head. Well, for a hearth, Bree said, smiling at him. She put her hand on Roger's leg. At first, I thought we might build a house ourselves when we could, but... She turned and looked across the darkness of the ridge into the vault of the cold, pure sky, where the Great Bear shone overhead.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.